Hi, I'm Afiya Chohollo, but you can call me Afiya, and I am a proud school governor at your school, Copthall School. I'm also a director of a team or a technology team within a company called Onfido. And I can tell you a little bit more about what Onfido does, but essentially we make sure people are who they say they are, even when we can't be in person, which is a lot of the time right now. So imagine you were signing up for a bank account and you don't need to go into store. All you can do from the comfort of your home is take a picture of your driver's license. And so you just take your phone, take a picture of that, and then you take a selfie, which I know you all know how to do. And what we'll do in the background is do some clever machine learning and data science and AI, facial recognition, and match your face, your biometrics, which is your facial biometrics, and match that to the facial biometrics or the picture that's in that document. And that's it, you've signed up. And that's what Onfido does. So what I do there is I look after a team called the technical program management team. And I'm a technical program manager myself as well. And what we do is look after all of the big projects and multiple projects at a time, which is why we say program, that we need to deliver identity solutions. And it's really exciting, and I get to work with all different types of technology, from front end, which is where the users interact, and all of the UI, which is the user interface, right through to the back end, which is where we store all this data in things like databases or in the cloud. Cloud services, it just means that a provider like Amazon puts all of their machinery in this cloud that we work in. So that's what I do. And I'm really excited that get to spend some of the International Women's Day with you. And it's just such an important day. And obviously it's Women's History Month as well. So it's an important time because there are so many amazing women who have come before us and have laid the path. So we have what we have today. And also there's still a lot of work to do to improve gender equity, parity, and fairness. And so that's why it's still important. So who inspires me? Well, a lot of people inspire me. A lot of people, around the world, a lot of people in history. I have this book here, which I was supposed to give to a child, but I really like it, about different Black women in history who have made such a big difference and made it possible for someone like me to do what I do today, particularly those who work within STEM subjects and STEM fields. So that's why that's who inspires me. But people even closer to home inspire me. Our teachers, our aunties, our mothers, our friends inspire us. And one woman who stands out for me is my grandmother. She is an amazing woman, and she was born in an island called Jamaica. And she came to this country in the early 60s, and she came to make a better life, but also to help rebuild this country after the wars. And my grandmother became a nurse, and at the time there was discrimination not only on gender but on race as well, which made it much more difficult to be a nurse. They didn't give you the same qualifications, or you may have racial abuse from your patients who don't want to be treated by a Black woman. But she fought through that, and she has achieved so much and done so much in her life that it totally inspires me. And she now lives in a beautiful home in Jamaica. And yeah, I aim to relax by a seafront view one day in my own big house. So she definitely inspires me, and she's just such a loving and caring person. So not just what she's done, but how she does it and the integrity that she has. So what are the kind of core important issues to me that we still need to rally round and come together as women and girls to progress with? Well, we're celebrating, that over 100 years that we can vote now, and it's really important that even at your age, you start to engage in politics, understand what's going on in your local community, find out who your MP is, and do you agree with the values that they have? And there's such a lot of resource now, even on social media, that you can find that breaks down politics into a non-horrible way and just gives you the facts. And hopefully when you get to the age where you can vote, you're really informed and you make decisions that really change, really change. And don't listen to anyone who tells you that nothing can be changed, because we've seen it in recent elections that women have come out in force and have changed the course of history. Another thing that's super important to me when it comes to women and women's rights and girls' rights is education. And that's why I love working with your school, because still to this day, 132 million girls do not have access to education. And we're really privileged that we have the access to education that we do. But even some women and girls here still are struggling. And it's really important that everybody has access to learning. Learning is a lifelong thing. I'm always still learning. So sorry to break it to you if you thought it was going to end at 16 or 18. No, you learn all the time, but learning is a privilege and we're really lucky. And learning about other people's cultures is also important. Learning about different people's experiences is really important. So ask so many questions and try and explore different things. The third thing that's really important to me when it comes to women and girls is access and financial access. I just showed you in which ways technology is bringing in access. You know, if you couldn't necessarily get to a bank, which happens for a lot of women in different remote parts of the world, you can do that via technology. And financial access is so critical to driving much more parity and having wage parity. So many women are still underpaid. You may have discussed today about equal pay, and equal pay is when a man and a woman, regardless of their gender, are paid the same price for the same job. Unfortunately, oftentimes this isn't the case, and you'll find women being underpaid versus the men that they are doing the same work as. And it's so important that we have conversations about this and have conversations about money, and so that it becomes much more transparent subject between both genders. But I'd ask you to ask questions. Start talking to your family members or your teachers about money and what that means, how it's used, how it's transacting. New types of money and transactions are arriving with cryptocurrency, and it might just sound far out and a bit weird, but start to discuss money, because, you know, all women should get paid. And I'm really proud as a manager to manage women who've been able to progress their career and increase their earnings. It's really important. The fourth area in which is really important to me as well is obviously safety, and safety of women like you and like our parents and our family and women all around the world. Unfortunately, there are so many instances where women's bodies, their mental health, their emotional health aren't valued. And this is something that we are still working on. And there are lots of great people doing really brilliant work, you know, providing services to women who may be in danger, who may be under threat, but sometimes it's still hard to access those services. I'd love to ask you all that as long as it's safe to do so, if you see that somebody is in danger and something is not right, speak up. Tell somebody who maybe could help that person, and let's make sure that we keep each other safe. So thank you for listening to me. I hope you have an amazing International Women's Day and the rest of the Women's Month. I am super excited to see what amazing women you all become, and I know you're going to just kill it and like change the future of women. So I'm super excited to see all you boss babes. Go ahead.